Center. Good morning and welcome to Althea. We're so grateful to have you join us here. You joining us here today.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to one and all. And to those watching on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and Instagram and MySpace. I think that's still a thing. It's not still a thing, is it? Good morning to you as well. I'm Chris Parente. We're glad you're here. I was just discussing a moment ago, it's beautiful weather, isn't it? Gorgeous day. And for the record, we actually have it here. We are officially in Fool Spring, followed by second winter, spring of deception, third winter, road construction, and then actual spring. So we have a few springs to get through, but enjoy the day while you can. A couple announcements. First of all, if you can turn off your cell phones, I prefer to turn them all the way off, but very least silence them. We have our community connections each Thursday. It's free on Zoom, 11 to 12:30. So it helps us stay connected. Folks who maybe can't get out or aren't able to, you can check out our community connections. We also have our private prayer partners, which is a great, we practice affirmative prayer here. If it's on your heart, you need to talk to somebody and work through some prayer. We do that every Sunday after services. And two of our legends, Mike and Connie Carter, have agreed. Hi, Connie. Connie's in that pretty pink. Good to see you. She'll be our prayer partner after service today. I don't know if you all remember that Sunday we had the little kid that came down forward and was playing with the musician. Did anybody remember that Sunday? It was the most magical thing I've seen. And I think a child's perspective is so important to Althea. And in keeping with that, I see we have a wee one in the back. Oh, we got his suspenders on. Everybody go, turn your head and go, aww. Like, hi, good morning. We love you. It's really easy to see the face of God in a child. And I say this because we are encouraging now families with children to come again in a number of ways. Okay, we're going to have our kids program rebooted. So if you know somebody who's got kids and they're like, I can't come, I got kids. We have a child's program that's going to be meeting at the end of the hall by the bathrooms, 10:10. So the kids will be entertained, they'll be educated. That gives you a little more space up there to do your thing. And as you see with our cutie patootie, we also do have Kids Corner still in full operation back there with some cool puzzles, it looks like. How many of you are actually members of Althea? Like card-carrying members? Good. Apparently they've streamlined the process. So if you're considering being a member, there's really not a whole lot to it, but it's important to the Althea community. It's a way to get us engaged with you. So I encourage you to talk to Rick, Bob, our board president, or Reverend Christina, who's taking the day off, but I'm sure is watching on YouTube. Good morning, Reverend. A reminder, there's a gong bath today. And a reminder, as that gong bath will take place at 12:30 after lunch. And I don't see Linda here today, but Linda's a member of our church, and every Thursday night at 5:30, Linda does the most incredible yoga you will ever experience. I am not a very limber man. This yoga is so powerful to me. It is, in my opinion, more spiritual than it is holding positions. It is a great way, I think, to dovetail spirituality with yoga. It's every Thursday night in a library, 5:30. You'll see me there. You'll hear my bones creaking, but I wouldn't miss it for the world. So now I want to say, before we get started, if you're new to the feed or whatever else, or new here in the sanctuary, every Sunday we start with a land acknowledgement, a reminder that long before we were here, the Ute, the Arapaho, the Cheyenne, they were here. And not just here, but fully embracing of the land. They loved the land and were good stewards of it. And so we honor those three nations in particular and keep their memory and their tradition alive. Also, we affirm every Sunday our commitment to diversity. We are a church that accepts all, no matter your race, your gender, your sexuality, your preference, your age, your height, your weight. We accept all and acknowledge in doing so that the truth is we're all one. We see beyond those differences to the divinity that unites us all. Now, how many first-timers do we have never stepped foot in Althea before? 1, 2, 3. Keep your hands held high. Welcome to Althea. Thank you for coming on Fool's Spring. We have a flower for you. We appreciate you being brave enough to explore. Try something different. We hope you'll come back next Sunday. And as an added bonus, everybody who has a flower today, for all the first-timers, the lunch is on the house afterwards. So please stay and come. Like a high school retreat lunch today. Great job. She's also going to open us in prayer right now.
Good morning. Begin this service. Prayer is that gift that we bring with us, and it's also the gift that we take from here. So if it feels comfortable, close your eyes and just take that breath. Moving out of all the busyness that you went through in order to get here. To really allow yourself to just be present. And to know that right here, right now, God is. That infinite wisdom that we call by many names, we know as all things. That presence, that power that is within the heart, the soul, and the body of each one of us. For it's into that power that we speak our word, that we know the truth, that we absolutely unfold the blessings of this place, of this time, that we have come together to honor and to be present to the love that is, to the wisdom that is, to the strength that is, as it flows through us, as us, and out into the world. And so we know and claim that this power is ever present in this building and in this life, that there is love, and it is unfolding as all the circumstances of our life. And so we are so grateful for this opportunity to open up to receive. For we have the gift of heat, we have the gift of friendship, we have the gift of laughter, of the sound of children, of the openness to the embrace of friends and strangers. For I do know that we have come here today to hear the wisdom of Holly, to hear the music that is going to open our hearts, to be present to that one power, to that one infinite knowing that we know is life. And so as we give thanks and we let that gratitude fill us, we go into this service alive and aware and empowered by love. And so we release, we let go. We know it is so, and so it is. Amen.
Hello, everyone. You can hear me now? Okay, good. I would like to invite you all to stand if you'd like and join me in the statement of being. God is all, both invisible and visible, one presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. We are individualized expressions of God and are ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect for the face of God now, okay? So, shall we begin? God, I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. We are a family. You are the face of God. Thank you. You may be seated now. I don't have a script here to introduce the next person, but I know who he is. He's been here before, and his name is David Churchill. You have one? Oh, that's okay. You can do it. I just know that's what I did last time. Hey.
Let's co-introduce, shall we? It's sort
Let's
of like
do
the
that.
Academy Awards where there's always two presenters for all the awards. You know him personally.
Either that or you're going to get Henry David Thoreau and Walden.
Well, that'd be
That's
something
what's up
special.
here.
You know David.
Okay, yes,
Played
I
piano
do.
from the age
Yes.
of 10.
Yes.
His dad had an old upright in the basement, and he took lessons for only 2 years and then has produced and performed ever since a number of spots around town. He's a frequent guest here and performer here. I love him, don't you?
Yes.
Should we shut up and let him play?
Excellent. I think that's a great idea. He has many other accolades, but hey, just listen.
David Churchill, ladies and gentlemen.
You must live in the present. Launch yourself on every wave. Find your eternity in each moment. Fools stand on their island of opportunities and look toward another land. There is no other land. There is no other light but this. That was by Thoreau from Walden. Mindfulness is about love and loving life. When you cultivate this love, it gives you clarity and compassion for life, and your actions happen in accordance with that. John Kabat-Zinn, Full Catastrophe Living.
One of the joys of being here at Althea is we have Reverend Christina, and then occasionally we get to hear other folks come share their perspective and fill this sanctuary. And our speaker today actually has this really cool connection. You know, we've heard Reverend Christina say over and over that she was guided, right? She didn't even know. Someone called her and said, "Hey, Althea has an opening." You remember her telling that story? This gal is the one who called Reverend Christina. How cool is that? Make some noise. Had it not been for her following what we call the divine spark or the divine voice or the intuition or the whatever it was in her, said, I should call Reverend Christina. She did. And the rest is history. Holly Duckworth's a renowned spiritual practitioner, speaker, author, known for her transformative work in mindfulness with a deep passion for helping individuals and organizations tap into their spiritual potential. Holly has dedicated her entire career to guiding others on a journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Please help me welcome to Althea, Holly Duckworth.
Thank you for having me back. What a joy it is to be in this space. As I was driving in this morning, I looked to the car to my left. If you know me very well, you know Spirit speaks to me in license plates. Was it somebody's name? Was it a word? What did it mean? So, of course, at the next stop sign, stoplight, when it was safe to do so, what is the definition of BEATA? Mindfulness. Come to find out, does anybody speak Spanish? That is a Spanish word that means blessed. We are blessed. And I feel so blessed to have the opportunity to come back and be in this center. And I want to start today by inviting us to be fully in this space. Let us just take a moment to look around, take in this beautiful new paint. For those of you who've been walking these halls for a long time, you know that this paint is new. For those of us who are joining for the first time, this 100-year-old building is in a revival of sorts. As we bring our energy fully into this space, I want to invite you to look down. Look to those hallways, the walkways as you walked in. If you are watching us on Zoom or online, I invite you to do the same exercise right where you are. Look at those walls around you. Come fully present into the space. Look below you, and whether you're on tile or new carpet, bring yourself fully into the space. Often in spiritual circles, we say take a breath in and take a breath out. But to be fully in this space, I want to invite you to take one more mindful breath and smell what you smell. Pizza, sandwiches. I am the only thing standing between you and lunch. those few examples are mindfulness in action. When I started studying mindfulness more than 15 years ago, it was the woo-woo. And it has been my great honor and joy to watch mindfulness evolve and change. And it's gone from woo-woo to wow to neuroscience-based practices. As many of us might know, some of this work is based in ancient wisdom. What I want you to know is we give thanks for all of the newness here and the newness that is continuing to come to this space. And of course, no mindful moment would be complete if we didn't take a moment to be mindful of the heat in this space. Giving thanks for how warm it is in here. I was going to come to stage with my coat on and mindfully take it off, but I see many of you have taken your coats off. Let us give thanks to your staff, your volunteers, the heating company, the tools, the devices, everything that has brought Big Bertha back to life. And just by way of planting a fun seed, maybe we rename it Harmony and Heat. Harmony and Heat, we now have a whole new appreciation for harmony and heat. The good news is, in all of those experiences, we just practice mindfulness. Mindfulness can be often misunderstood. Do I have to sit on an ashram, on a meditation pillow? Do I have to be quiet and meditate to be mindful? These are some of the most questions that I get as I travel the world. Mindfulness is simply the practice of being fully present in the moment and doing that from a place of non-judgment. Over the past few weeks, Reverend Christina has shared with you how to open your door in 2024. Find your clarity. Step into chaos with courage. And she's talked a lot about consciousness. This week, I want to unpack for you creating a conscious commitment through the practice of mindfulness, or simply being present. As we unpack this, ask yourself this question. This comes from Jon Kabat-Zinn in his book, Full Catastrophe Living. What am I going to do with my mind today? Are you conscious and awake? How will you cultivate the ability to be awake at all times? Now, today is the 28th day of January. I'm not going to make anybody raise their hand to tell me if you're still living into your resolution or what Christina is inviting us to in 2024, our commitment. But this is the year that if perhaps that commitment has already fallen away on the 28th day, take a moment to look at it deeper. Perhaps it's a pledge, a new beginning, the commitment to yourself. And maybe commitment's a little bit of a funny word for you. Think about what are you going to dedicate yourself to this year? What's it look like, feel like, and sound like? What will you be devoted to? What can you be fully present to? As we begin this exploration, I should remind you that as with most teachers, I didn't start out being a mindfulness expert. All of this came from my 20 years in the meetings and hospitality industry, the 24/7 world of media and events. I tell you, I could make an Excel spreadsheet out of an Excel spreadsheet. My hair was running around on fire, and I was immaculately scheduled. And I mean nothing could knock me off course. Me? Be organized? Maybe not. But mindfulness, these research studies, this practice, the people in my life have invited me to live my life in a mindful way and ultimately found the American Mindfulness Association. So there's 3 ways to think about mindfulness. First is self-awareness. Take a moment to check in with your own body. How are you feeling today? Second is that idea of paying attention right where you are, to the carpet, to the paint, to the floor, to the license plate, to that person sitting to your left or sitting to your right. And the third piece of mindfulness is practicing acceptance, non-judgment. How can you stay neutral in all the commitments that you are making and in each and every moment as you move through life? Mindfulness rewires your brain. And I like to remind people, mindfulness is a practice. It is, in fact, not a perfect. We don't just live in a 24/7 world anymore. We live in a world where if you miss a meeting, they want to know if you watched the recording, downloaded the Zoom, watched the meeting, did you take the minutes? The demands on us aren't just 24/7, but it's the 4 hours that you missed that they want you to watch or listen to or record or be a part of as if you have 28 hours in your day. It's the opportunity to step into JOMO, the joy of missing out. As we step into the joy of missing out, I want to invite you to think about ways that you can be mindful that maybe don't require prayer, maybe aren't about sitting in the stillness, that mindfulness is about living and breathing and moving in the world. It's seeing the license plate. It's smelling the food. And I'm so excited that mindfulness has actually moved to become a mainstream movement. And if you are into movies, I would invite you to take a look at the Mindfulness Movement movie. I had the opportunity to work with Rob Beamer, the executive producer on this movie. And in that movie, he interviews folks. When I first started studying mindfulness, this was just a woo-woo word. What I came to learn is that mindfulness literature has grown. In 1966, there was just one single article dedicated to mindfulness. In 2020, a mere 50 years later, there was a total of 16,581 journal articles, peer-reviewed and published in the Web of Science, a database that reviews scholarly journals. 2020, we had over 2,800 mindfulness articles. It's not just woo-woo, but it's actually permeating our world. The National Institutes of Health is starting to look at mindfulness and how mindfulness can support health conditions. About 93 million people in the U.S. have used mindfulness or meditation in the last 12 months. And they report that mindfulness, in conjunction with whatever modalities they are choosing, are important to their health outcomes. Meditation was mainly used for general wellness. So if that's in your wheelhouse and you just want to increase your wellness, 76.2% report improving their energy because of mindfulness. 60% of people who regularly practice mindfulness, again, on the mat or in daily living, find that it aids in their ability to concentrate. 50% report a reduced anxiety rate, 21% reduce stress, and 17.8% reduce depression. Many of our top health challenges in our world can be combated with the daily practice of being fully present in the moment. Maybe you want to be mindful for medical reasons. But mindfulness is more than just a medical prescription now. And I'm so excited that part of the work at the American Mindfulness Association, we are actually starting to partner with researchers and scientists to explore what does a prescription for mindfulness look like. But mindfulness is also present in our schools. In 2020, the mayor of New York declared that mindfulness in schools would be a practice that teachers and students would do in order for them to be fully present in the classroom. Now, they don't call it mindfulness, but it's essentially the same study. It's the practice of breath work. When we take a moment to breathe and connect to our bodies, we have the opportunity to manifest curiosity, explore, and be better human beings in a world where I think we need to be both more human and more kind to one another. Mindfulness in schools is part of what's making mindfulness such a mainstream practice. When I'm working with corporate executives, the first thing they say to me is, how can I be more mindful with my children? And I say, your children are already practicing mindfulness. You simply need to meet them there. Mindful schools are also teaching different practices, not just of breath work, but perhaps the practice of mindful coloring, the opportunity to sit down and color. We can all smell that color crayon. We can see the orange moving out on the page. It is scientifically proven that when you practice mindfulness in the form of coloring, it makes us more calm and present to the work that we're doing. So how can that impact you? Can you be more mindful when you pick up that pen to maybe write out that check? Can you be mindful when you are engaging in your line of work, whatever that might look like? At Leadership Solutions International, we keynote conferences around the world. Mindfulness is now in companies such as Toyota, Boeing, and so many more. We partnered with the American Mindfulness Association on the American Psychological Association's Workplace Health and Safety Conference. And in this panel, we were able to interview the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, for example. We've also, on World Mindfulness Day, we interviewed the Chief Mindfulness Officer at Toyota. These are industries you might not think are practicing mindfulness, but on everyday life, they're finding, the Teamsters found, that if our professionals aren't being fully present in their jobs, let's just say that air traffic controller, we all know that one accident from that brain blip might cause a catastrophic accident. At Toyota, the Chief Mindfulness Officer has reported to us, her program started out voluntary. It was just 10 people. She sent an email on a Friday afternoon. Would you like to be a part of this meditation experience? She thought nobody would respond. The first week, 100 people responded, and this was in the Zoom stage. What they found was people were more excited about mindfulness, and that program has now grown over 10,000 people. And mindfulness, while it started with Toyota's in-office workers, now they're starting to figure out how can they take mindfulness onto the actual floor where they're building the cars. Because I'm sure the folks at Boeing would tell us that every screw matters. And having your frontline workers be fully present in the moment with every screw makes a difference. So if mindfulness can be found in medicine, mindfulness can be found in schedule. A few years ago, I was driving on Route 126 in Massachusetts. I was on my way to a speaking engagement. I am out in the middle of nowhere. I've seen no side roads or no turnoffs for miles. And I came to a stoplight. I was planning to keep going because, of course, I had a schedule to keep. But I looked to the left and I looked to the right and I saw a sign. That sign read, Walden Pond State Reserve. My brain says that can't possibly be like the Walden Pond, as in like David Thoreau Walden Pond. Well, that other voice inside me says, You'll never know if you don't turn the corner. So, of course, I moved my car to the left turn lane, fully expecting this to be nothing. As the voices in my head are lighting up, my Miss Schedule voice says, "You're going to be late." My Ms. Safety voice says, "You are a single white female alone driving into a park by yourself. No doubt there's going to be a mugger here trying to mug you." But I kept listening mindfully to my still small voice, just like the doctors, the teachers, and those in corporate America. I kept talking and listening and looking around to see the beautiful flowers. And suddenly I came upon a lake on my left. And I parked in the parking lot to the right. Another sign, Walden Pond State Park. These are the gifts of being present in the moment. You don't miss the opportunity to be fully present. In my full professional dress with my high heels on, I bounded across the street to see what I might see. And I came across a sign that read, "I went into the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to confront the essential facts of life, to see what I could learn and what nature had to teach. I didn't come here to die. I came here to discover that I had not lived." Henry David Thoreau lived at Walden Pond for more than 2 years. As I walked down the pathways, I came across the Koran stands. I came across the house that he lived in. And I manifested or reconnected to my own sense of curiosity. I think that all of us have the opportunity to be a little bit more like Henry David Thoreau. Another quote he had was, "Live in the present moment. Launch yourself on every wave. Find your eternity in each moment. Fools stand on the island of opportunities and look for another land. There is no other land. There is only one life, and it is, of course, this life." What are you missing because you are not being mindful? What could you have a little step closer to your resolution or your commitment in 2024 by checking in with yourself, looking around, and doing it from a place of non-judgment? This Sunday, I want to give you one mindfulness practice. It's called the stop practice. Each and every one of us, whether we walk to work or school or home, we take the light rail, we come across times in life, just like I did this morning, with that red stop sign, or perhaps that red, yellow, and green light. Many of us go, "Oh my God, I'm going to be late." Maybe that is Spirit's invitation to utilize this acronym and be more mindful. S, actually physically stop. Take a moment, look to your left, look to your right. Wherever you are, be present in that moment. Observe your surroundings. And then the P, proceed. S-T-O-P. Mindfulness practices don't just happen in prayer workshops or meditation moments, but they should be the invitation to go deeper with ourselves in our moment-to-moment awareness. And I absolutely know that you can do this. I'll leave you with one last story before we move into a mindful practice. Every moment we are making decisions, many of them mindlessly. Research shows we make 35,000 decisions a day. Many of these decisions are taxing our energy. Studies show sometimes one decision can take up to 10 minutes. We need to come to terms with the threshold and the pace of how life is coming at us today. Social media, face-to-face, email, our Zoomies, our roomies, our friends that are coming at us, the deluge of data. And in the words of Reverend Shannon O. Hurley, we need to put light-filled boundaries around us. Take that breath. Stop and be fully present with every decision that we make and every has opened us up to open the door in 2024. Now that our doors are open, let us mindfully commit to walk through those doors and make the commitment to bring your light wherever you go. And as we wrap up, I'll invite our musician to come up. I want to not just talk about mindfulness today, but I thought we would do a mindfulness practice. Sharon Salzberg is often known as one of the mamas of modern mindfulness, and she invites us to a loving kindness practice. So if you are willing, I just invite you to get comfortable in your seat, and we'll just invite you to bring into your mind's eye a picture of your beautiful self, living your mindful commitments this year. And as you see that person, you and your highest and best form, if it feels good to you, I invite you to say with me or allow these words to wash over you. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be well. And as you focus that aperture on yourself now, being fully present in this moment, I just invite you to bring into your mind's awareness someone with whom you want to expand your greater presence this year. See yourself sitting with, talking with, connecting to that other person. And again, say with me, may we be happy. May we be peaceful, and may we be well. And as we take a stand here in the beautiful, evolving, growing, and revolutionizing right here at the Althea Center, let us take a stand, opening your aperture just a little bit more, as we say together, may we be happy. May we be peaceful. And may we be well. Mindfulness. I invite you, if you closed your eyes, to come back into this space. Recognizing mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment. More and more neuroscience is coming up about mindfulness every day. You'll see it more in science, in technology, in the work that you are doing. How can you invite mindfulness into your day? And as we come to a close of today's practice, I will just invite us to move into a prayer as our musician comes to the piano. So as we move into a prayer for mindfulness, I absolutely recognize there is one power and one presence. And as we commit to the use of mindfulness in our daily life, we see that power and presence everywhere around us, and we unify our lives to it. By the power of this day, we release any thought, any belief, or any action that is blocking our realization of that commitment this day. Any place that is saying, I am too busy to be mindful, is dissolved and it is disintegrated as you explore mindfulness off the mat. I give great thanksgiving for this community at Althea, for the friends and family who are gathered here, for the volunteers that make this place so, and for Reverend Christina and the board of directors who are continuing to shepherd the love that is forever in this place. So I release this prayer into the infinite law of mind, and we declare together, and so it is. Amen. Go forth in mindfulness, knowing that your mindfulness matters, and so do you. Make it a great day.
That was awesome, David. Thank you. It's really cool to be that close to the piano, too. Like the vibration. It's incredible. I recommend sitting up here at least once in a year to get that view. I want to thank Holly, too. Now I'm obsessed with license plates. I'm thinking, hot mama, what does it mean? Cruising, what's the hidden message? And I think all of us should today to declare that something we see right in front of us is going to have a message, is going to have meaning. Because it's what you find in it that matters. And I would ask, if you had a vanity plate, you could write anything on your own license plate, what would you write on it? Amore. All right, good. I like it. It's something to think about. What message are we sending out? Maybe your message, Jenny, would be give or giving. Would that be your license plate? Althea. What if everybody has that plate? Either way, in the spirit of giving and in the spirit of Althea, this is the moment we actually ask our ushers to come forward, if you would please. Morning. Because we know everything in the universe is cyclical. As we give, so we receive. The whole infinity symbol. And really, in the giving, we do receive. So I'm going to ask that we say together, that's one of my favorite prayers here, our prayer of abundance and of giving as we bless the offerings today. The universe provides all that I need and all that I give. With great joy, I share my prosperity, planting seeds for a world I am helping manifest. And so it is. Amen. And a reminder, as this basket's passed, yes, we can do it old school. You can put a 5 or a 10 or a 20. You can also do what I do. I call it the Vegas casino over there, where you can dip your credit card. It makes a cool sound, $10 at a time. You can also donate on our website anytime. We also have monthly giving. There's a lot of ways. Trust me, Big Bertha was not cheap to reincarnate into, what do we call her? Harmonious Harmony? What are we calling her? Harmony. It takes abundance for us to share our abundance, and I hope you will be abundant now. And as we slowly bring the service to a close, we've talked a lot about affirmative prayer, and in fact, Reverend Christina is going to do a whole series of educational talks, I believe, interactive, about what does affirmative prayer mean. We always take a little time here at the end of a service to do what we call the prayers of the people. If there's something that you have on your heart, a person, something in your own life, this is your chance. We're going to pass the microphone around. Reverend Christina says, kiss, right? Which is both keep it simple and keep it spiritual. And she asks that we don't give any proper nouns that might identify someone who would rather be private. But whatever is on your heart, if you have a prayer you'd like to share, now's your moment. Just raise your hand up high. We'll get the mic to you. Sure.
Peace in Ukraine, peace in Israel and Palestine.
I just want to say that my back is actually feeling a lot better, but I'm still on antibiotics, so we ought to, let's keep it that way, that it's gone completely, But I still have those pins in there. When we get that cold weather, it definitely hurts. That's why I didn't come in. All right, thanks, Chris. I love you. I watch you every day.
Luis, right behind you.
Many of you know Chadrick. He sang for us before. He shared his beautiful talents on this very stage. He's moving to New York, so prayers for joy and success and greatness.
Thank
you. I would just like to say how grateful I am for the church to come to such a nice conclusion around the heat. And And to thank everybody who worked so hard to make it happen.
Just like to say that I've been having some ticker heart issues this last week, so it's hard for me to ask for support. So I'm going to ask for support. Thank you.
And a reminder too, we have another, oh yeah, one more.
I have trouble with my right eye, so any prayers or anything for help on that one so that it gets all better. Thank you.
The ticker and the right eye. Got it. And by the way, we have, of course, a prayer portal on our website where if you need help, you can type in your prayer request, and we've got it sent to a team of prayer practitioners. Want to remind you that Connie and her husband, you guys are going to be available afterward, right? In Darwin's Den, for somebody who might want more personal prayer, work through affirmative prayer. It does work, and I hope you'll take advantage of that. And now, as we close it out today, where's? By the way, Daryl, where did Daryl go? Is he here? He's behind me. He's right behind me, isn't he? Daryl, who's also healing wonderfully. I'm so happy to see that too. Isn't that cool? And now with our closing song, if you're able to stand, feel free to do so as we sing a Beatles classic that I'm sure you all know.
Okay, now I'm here. Thank you so much. We're going to do a song today that really ties into the message, so please join me in Imagine. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Oh, imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. true. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Thank you, thank you. And I'll just take over for Bob. Something wonderful is happening to me today. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It's that thing called life. I am it. I know it. I feel it. And I will be it. Thank you so much. Goodbye.